Welcome back, everyone. This is Griot of the Diaspora, and I am your host, Nakaira G. I know I took a long time, was not feeling well, and I am back. Obviously, because I am in a land where everything is at your disposal in terms of herbs and everything. So I usually do not get sick for long. I can knock that out in about 48 hours, regardless. So we are back. Welcome back. I want to say thank you again to everyone that's been blowing up my videos about Burkina Faso. Our video got 10,000 views, so I'm definitely excited about that because that is my most viewed video so far, and it was a very small video. It was only 6 minutes. And my most recent video, episode 30, is also getting some numbers in there too. So like I said in my last video, I do realize that my audience is very glued into what's happening in Burkina Faso. So I'm going to make sure that as I gather information the best way that I can, that I give that information out. Hopefully at least once a week, I can do some type of update of what's going on with the Sahel states and what's going on with the Alliance of Sahel States, the AES, and all of that jazz. So, but for this episode, it's going to be quick. I want to talk about this preparation that so many people feel like they need to do because the inauguration in America is now happening. So for those of us who are Black American diasporans and expats, this year, or 2024 and 2025, is the year for us of new presidents. We just ushered in a new president in Ghana, which is very interesting because John Mahama, this is his second term. So he already was president back in the 2013 era, and he's back doing his second and last term. And in America, we just ushered in, y'all just ushered in Donald Trump. And this is also his second term and hopefully his last one. Even though he has made statements where he's claiming that we won't have to vote anymore. And y'all still voted for him. So let's get into it. So I have an article on my website called "Is Trump Better for Africa?" And I thought how this would be a good idea and a good time to actually have this conversation since he will be pretty much president by the time that this video comes out. Currently, it looks like they are doing his inauguration ball, and there have been artists like Rick Ross and Nelly and a couple other artists that have been rumored to be performing at the inauguration ball in DC for Donald Trump. So I thought, why not have this conversation, right? It's Kiki. So let's get into it. So first, I want to just kind of talk about this whole concept. Is Trump better for Africans? I still have not forgiven people when Trump won the election in 2024 and seeing my WhatsApp status full of congratulations for Trump by specifically not just Africans, but particularly Africans who have not gotten on a plane to go to America, who were very happy to see that Trump won. I thought that was very interesting and very disturbing. I blocked a lot of people that day because I just could not understand how people who had never gotten on a plane, who had the audacity to be so excited that Trump won the American presidency. But I was also a little disturbed at the reasons people were congratulating Donald Trump. I didn't see a lot of people saying the reasons why, but just over time since November, I've just been, looking at different news segments, having different conversations, and I haven't really heard anyone say anything substantial as to why they support Donald Trump as an African person. And even when I look at African immigrants who are no longer immigrants, who are now citizens and first generation and second generation Africans in America, I still find that very interesting. I hear a lot of, oh, well, I like to know that He seems very honest, and people feel that Trump's attitude and his, I guess they find it humorous, his racism. They find his nastiness to be entertaining, and I guess at this point, oppressed people like their colonizers. I don't know. I guess they just like them. At this point, I'm just starting to assume that people like them. Black and African people who support these types of characters, I'm no longer willing to say, oh, they're misinformed. Oh, they're miseducated. Oh, they're uneducated. I can't do that with my people no more. I just can't, because y'all got Instagram and TikTok and Twitter just like the rest of us. Y'all have African professors just like the rest of us. Y'all have books just like the rest of us. And it's like, at some point, that cannot be the reason anymore. At some point, educating yourselves has to happen. You can complain about what you don't have and what this person did and these white people did this and these white people did that. Yeah, but at some point in time, we have to address the fact that, as I can see it with my own eyes, I live here. I see how white people live freely here. I see how white people live in no type of fear in this country. I see how they are treated better. I see how they are attended to. I see how comfortable that they are. They do not seem threatened at all. They do not seem afraid to talk to people the way that they talk to people here. They seem very free. So I get really confused sometimes. I really, really do. Real quick, y'all, make sure you download my new ebook. It is a travel planner and journal. I made this about a year and a half ago, and it's really, really cool. There are 10 different entries. So as you are on your travel journeys, make sure you download this ebook. It's only $10, and you can get it on my website today at nakedgoldonline.com. You can download it, you can print it, whatever works for you. Make sure you cop that today. So when I ask the question, well, let me take my bias out of it. Is Trump better for Africa? Because I'm trying to figure it out. Because there's African presidents right now that are still working with Bill Gates. And I don't understand that. I think that there has been enough research to show that Bill Gates creates science-based products that are killing African and Black people. I thought that information was widely known. But there's still African presidents still signing GMO deals with Bill Gates this very second. So I don't know. So I started asking myself this question. Well, okay, let's actually do the research. Is Trump better for Africa? Is Trump better for Africa? Because there might be a possibility. So let's get into that. One of the things that Trump did back in his first term, he implemented a Muslim ban. And that affected a lot of people. Now, for the African people on the continent who are very, very obsessed with the first world, the people who want to get on a plane and forget about their country, and they want to go to America, they want to go to UK, they want to go to Canada, they want to go to Australia, they want to go anywhere else in the world, but in their own country. I asked that question to them. How does the Muslim ban affect the average African coming out of the continent? For those who want to go to America, for those who want to go abroad, whether it's for school, whether it's to live, whatever your reason is, how does that Muslim ban actually affect you? Because when you look at countries like Nigeria, you look at countries like Senegal, and you look at just all of North Africa, you look at East Africa, the Arab slave trade has done a number on the continent. So there are a lot of African Muslims. And you know what's so funny? The way that Africans are treated in the UAE, or the way that Africans are treated in certain northern region countries in Africa, where we all widely know that in Libya, Africans are currently going through literal slavery. When we mention countries like Dubai, it is world knowledge that there is African slave labor happening in Dubai, around Dubai, and in order for Dubai to even exist. You have people saying things like, don't go to Dubai. Dubai commits slavery. They are working with this person and that person. Oh, don't go to the UAE country. You see a lot of African scholars and a lot of people saying these things. But then you have Africans who are begging every single day to go to America. And then you tell people, hey, I'm a Black American. I could tell you what America was like. I could tell you what there was like for me. The average person will listen to a Black American sob story about America and will still look at that Black American and go, oh, okay, help me go to America. So when I look at things like a Muslim ban, I don't think about the Arabs who are affected by that, because Arabs have enough resources and have enough control in their own countries as well as in Africa that they have enough control over their selves to have their own military, their own standing. They have those things. Africans, we're still struggling with that. Abroad and on the continent, we're still struggling with those things. And something like a Muslim ban is not even enough, because you still have people who are begging and who are obsessed with the first world who still want to go and do that. So I kept digging. I kept asking myself, okay, what is it? Is Trump better for Africa? Trump has been saying that on his first day back in office, he plans to deport immigrants. Immigrants are not just Latinx communities. Go to Miami. Go to damn near anywhere in New York, Bronx, Brooklyn. It's nothing but immigrants, Black ones. DC. And y'all still voted for that man. Y'all still voted for him. And he said he wanted to deport immigrants. He has a history of anti-Islam. He is very Islamophobic. And still people voted for him. And I really want to bring this up since we're on the topic of Donald Trump. Ghana business owners in Accra and in Cape Coast. I have a small message. I have seen a variety of different brands use Trump's slogan, "Make America Great Again," and you guys are doing the "Make Accra Great Again" thing. I'm going to be so honest with you. I find that so disrespectful. I find it so disrespectful. I find it insensitive. I find it to actually prove to the people who say things like Africans don't like us. That is a clear example of what that just fuels the diaspora wars. It fuels the hatred. It fuels the separation. It fuels the divide, because it's so funny how people will sit there and say, oh, we don't know each other. Oh, language barriers. Oh, there's so many reasons why we don't understand each other. But for some reason, y'all understand white people perfectly fine. When I went to Cape Coast, there were banners around Cape Coast that said, "Make Cape Coast Great Again," with pictures of Melania Trump. And that was just in 2022. So now you mean to tell me, as Black Americans, we're being invited to this country And we got to walk around and see Make a Cry Great Again. I find that it's already bad enough that people feel like the year of return was a slap in the face. But now it's like, at this point, it's starting to feel like we're being mocked. It's like, why aren't there, where's the brands and companies that are actually trying to bridge the community together? Why not refurbish Malcolm X's slogans? Why not refurbish Kwame Nkrumah's slogans? Why are y'all making t-shirts and banners and hats that say Make a Cry Great Again? But then you say things like, oh, the US, they're imperialists, they're doing this, they're doing that. I feel like at some point, everybody has to pick a side. At some point, everybody has to pick a side. And I feel like this is the year of pick a side. Pick a side. Whether you African, whether you non-African, whether you Arab, whether you white, whether you mixed, whatever the case is, please pick a side and stop begging and stop asking and stop complaining. If you choose a side, stick on that side. But when it don't work out for you, don't try to run to the other side. Make your bed and lay in it. But in 2025, we cannot keep having this same conversation of what is a colonialist, what is a colonizer, what is imperialism, what is brainwashing, well, what is racism? Oh, well, what Africans do, they deal with racism better than Black Americans. Black Americans too sensitive. Oh, we have to get, at some point, that conversation has to be finished. It has to be finished. Because now we have Trump back in office, and you still have Africans here, whether they're content creators, whether they're students. I mean, people who are just regular people in the community who are obsessed with going to America, and they are well in their 40s and 50s. And they think that their life is going to change if they get on a plane and go to America today. Even though we have Trump in office, that's still not enough. And so I'm curious. I really want to know, is Trump better for Africa? Because when we are looking at the juxtaposition between an Ibrahim Traore and a Donald Trump, that is what we're dealing with right now. You have some people who want to go towards revolution, and you have some people who just want to make some money off of being corrupt, and they just want a little bit of money today, and they want to go run off into the sunset and spoil it. Pick a side. Do you want to do the revolutionary work and decolonize your mind and emancipate yourself from mental slavery? Do you want to do that? Or do you want to go run in a den of thieves, and you want to go find a bunch of other criminals and a bunch of other corrupt people to go steal some money from and go run into the bushes? I'm going to leave that with y'all. Until next time. Real quick, y'all, make sure you download my new ebook. It is a travel planner and journal. I made this about 1.5 years ago, and it's really, really cool. There are 10 different entries. So as you are on your travel journeys, make sure you download this ebook. It's only $10, and you can get it on my website today at nakedgoldonline.com. You can download it, you can print it, whatever works for you. Make sure you cop that today.